Conjunction junction, what's your function?
Hooking up words and phrases and clauses.
Conjunction junction, how's that function?
I got 3 favorite cars that get most of my job done.
Quick, what are the names of those cars, James? Second month in a row.
Oh, yeah. So conjunctions, it's got to be but, and, or.
In order, it's I got and, but, and, or, right? All right, welcome to Speak Out. It's Friday, October 27, 2023. Got a pretty good show lined up today. You actually came through with some good guests for
yes,
this,
not
for
just
this
me.
show.
So there
I'm kidding. You always nail it. You are a producer at heart, and we know that, right?
In my past, I did a little producing, so yeah, that's always fun. You know, it's producing and then doing the in front of the TV and then behind the radio as well. So last station I worked at had both, and they were both in the same studio.
Ooh.
You jumped from the TV news desk over to the radio after the newscast was over to give updates. Yeah.
What do you call that? A multicast?
Yeah.
I know what a simulcast is, but that's not exactly a simulcast. So.
We just called it work.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So here's a new addition to the whole MCC equation, right?
Yeah.
Video.
Yeah. We have a
video.
camera in here, so if all of you want to know what Paul looks like, keep an eye out. We're going to start. We're going to convert these into a podcast, and we're going to have it the Bighorn Blast podcast. We're going to unveil all of that in January, most likely, possibly December, maybe an early Christmas present. We'll see. Yeah.
So we have a guest here, Holly Berebitsky, and Holly is the program director. Listen to this title. I think you gave it to me, but she embellished on it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Program Director of Medical Assisting, Phlebotomy, and Medical Billing and Coding. Holy moly. Is there your business card is only that big, right?
It goes around the back.
How does that work, Holly?
Right.
But you have a knowledge of all of those?
I do. A little bit of each, yes. A master of medical assisting, though.
Where did you get all that experience?
Back in the Midwest, Indiana and Iowa.
Now, obviously, it wasn't all book. I mean,
No. I worked in a physician's office.
Hands-on.
Yes. I worked in the physician's office. I worked in a husband and wife team for about 5 years in Indianapolis. It was called IU Medical Group. So I got the best experience there. I had a little bit of phlebotomy, a lot of medical assisting, and a little bit of front office medical billing and coding.
Let's talk about that first topic, phlebotomy.
Sure.
You have hands-on with phlebotomy then?
Absolutely.
Are you a good stick?
I am a good stick.
All right, perfect.
Yes.
He's got the lingo down there.
Yeah.
No, I was with the phlebotomist for like 7 years, so
Great.
I get it.
Yeah.
Students don't stick me too much anymore, but I do get in the classroom and help Candace occasionally. She's our phlebotomist in Bullhead. And
Now, you better say, though, before we get too deep, for those that don't know phlebotomy, can you explain just the basic?
Absolutely.
It's kind of common with our audience, but if a younger listener is listening, they might not know
might not
that
understand it.
Every time that needle goes in, it's probably a phlebotomist doing it, right?
Correct. Phlebotomists actually perform blood draws, so they puncture the vein in the antecubital space or in the hand, and then they'll also do a few capillary punctures, which are your finger sticks. So phlebotomy is the art of blood draw through a vein.
I was going to say, how do you know? I mean, I look at my arms and people tell me you have great veins. I don't really see them.
No, it's all by feel rather than by sight.
Okay.
So that's why we use the tourniquet, and it pulls the blood into the lower part of the arm.
Sure.
And then what we'll do is have the patient pump their fist, and then we'll look for the veins in the antecubital space, which is really, kind of like instead of the knee pit, it's the armpit, right?
I see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you have medical assisting, phlebotomy, medical coding, and billing. There was one other you told me, too. Was it
HIT, which is Healthcare Information Technology.
That one we're not going to talk about today.
Correct.
But, okay, so you have all of those programs under you. Are those students that learn, let's say, medical assisting, then they learn coding and billing, and they go, well, I like one better. Does it happen that way?
Well, I think way back when they were all interconnected. A medical assistant did front office, back office, and lab.
Okay.
And that's why medical assistant learned a little bit of medical billing and coding, learned a little bit of phlebotomy, and then also medical assisting, which is nursing skills in the doctor's office, right? So somebody who comes and does your vitals, takes you back to the room, gives you your injections, does any labs in the office, that's a medical assistant. So I think that's why those three were intertwined. We don't see that as often anymore. And what I tell my students is, if you want a lot of patient care and hands-on, that's going to be your medical assistant. If you want a little bit of touching of patients and a little bit of patient education, that's going to be your phlebotomy. If you still want to be part of the healthcare team, but you don't want to touch patients, that's going to be your medical billing and coding.
But wouldn't you start up in customer service for medical billing and coding? Or would you go, if you applied it at an office, would they put you right in there? Would they trust you with that, with the education you get at MCC?
That's a really great question. So for medical...
That's what I get paid for.
For medical assisting, they have an externship. So what they'll do is they'll come to me, they'll do their prerequisites, and they actually do the same prerequisites. They'll do medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, medical law and ethics, and then they start to sprout out in their own directions. But a medical assistant has their own thing called an externship and a capstone. So they'll actually, when they're done with their classes, they'll go out into the field and work as a medical assistant for 180 hours. So that's when they learn the on-the-job training. And what we're seeing more today for a medical assistant is they're doing the back office. They're not doing the front office anymore. So we're seeing more of a medical office tech or a front office tech or even a receptionist doing those front office duties, and then a medical assistant really doing all those back office and lab duties. And you really don't see a lot of lab in office anymore too. The docs like to send you to the hospital or LabCorp or SonoraQuest. So phlebotomists as well, they do those same three prerequisites: medical law and ethics, MedTerm, and AMP, and then they do their one class, which is called 101. They learn those phlebotomy skills, and then they do an externship in the hospital for 80 hours, just doing lab draws on patients.
And how long does it take to get through, if I wanted to be a medical assistant or a phlebotomist?
About a year.
So 1 year. So these are really
short.
Called the get in and get out and get hired. You know?
So that person that's out there thinking, man, I'm really tired of working this job, or maybe they're doing fast food or something like that. Is there a way they can do this when they're not on shift where they're working?
Absolutely, because we do night classes. So we do night specifically so that that person who works during the day or mom during the day can then go to class at night. And like I said, it's a really short-term process. It's about a year. They're in and out. They're in the field. And it's a great springboard. All these are great springboards. A lot of my MAs in the past are now nurses. It's a great way to get your foot in the door and find out, do I want to be a nurse? Or maybe I don't. Maybe I really like a physical therapist or occupational therapist. So it's a great springboard.
Or surgical tech.
Or surgical
technology.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. We've
Paul,
been there.
Paul knows the programs at the college. So yeah. So,
I do kind of.
Yeah, he's one of our local experts. So
I wouldn't go that far.
People ask him. Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
One of our local folks that knows a little bit. Knows a little bit dangerous, I guess.
I'm not going to
knows how to forward them over to the college.
I'm not going to fill out your FAFSA. Let's put it that way.
Which they've redone, by the way. It's supposed to be simpler, so we're trying to get that word out there as well. But anyway, Holly, can you talk a little bit about the need in the community for these specific positions?
They actually have a very high need, and I believe it's a 17% increase in the next 6 or 7 years. I may be off a little bit on those numbers. There's a high need. We hear a lot of nursing, but we don't hear a lot of the other entry-level needs. So physicians are begging for medical assistants. The hospitals burn through their phlebotomists like it's nobody's business because they do go in, they find what they want, they go back to school, they springboard, and then they go into something else.
I was going to ask you that. That was great lead into this question. Is there a hierarchy? What's good to go first, second, third?
I'm not going to lie. I think phlebotomy is probably the best way to get in. It's easy. It's a nice start. You can do Monday through Friday, or you can do the weekend hours. I used to say medical assisting is the best because you don't work nights, weekends, and holidays, but sometimes that does work out for our folks.
Right.
It just depends on where you're at. But yeah, so it's a great place to springboard. Phlebotomy is I hate to undersell anything else, but phlebotomy is probably the easiest to just springboard in.
The old joke 30 years ago was go to work for a doctor's office if you want Wednesdays off, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. you know that joke.
Yes.
If you want Wednesdays off, because that's the day they went golfing. Yeah, exactly.
The course isn't crowded on Wednesday.
Right, but there was like a 4-day week. But what about wages once you get out of school? Are they competitive?
They are pretty comparable. Yeah, I think of the three, you're going to find medical billing and coding is probably the hottest. The great thing about medical billing and coding at MCC, it's completely online. So you're not coming into the classroom at all if you don't want to. If you want to, we can. But it's 100% online, and the need is huge, and the pay is great. MA and phlebotomy are pretty similar. I'm not going to lie. They're pretty comparable in wages. However, I think you have a little bit more growth in MA than you do in phlebotomy. I mean, once you're a phlebotomist, unless you do take advantage of, MCC and their great tuition, or even some of the employers out there who are willing to invest in you to work up the ladder.
What kind of person are you looking for when it comes to a medical coder then?
For medical coding,
attention to detail, for example?
Absolutely, a detective, right?
A detective? How so?
Absolutely, because we're finding that we don't have enough auditors, and that's medical billing and coding is crazy in that there are so many different realms, and the auditor piece is pretty interesting, where you're getting a claim that's been denied or rejected, and you have to find out why. So you're kind of a detective where, okay, why did this get denied? How can I, even going through the chart, finding out, okay, what did we do wrong here? How can I bill this appropriately so that I can get it filled or get it paid?
The term that comes to mind is it a diagnostic, or there's another term too?
Yes, procedure.
Yeah, it's a procedure, or like if you need a what do you call that? A colonoscopy, for example. Is it something for maintenance, or is it something to diagnose another problem?
Yeah, so preventative.
Thank you. Preventative or diagnostic.
Right, and so it's pretty cool that you mentioned diagnostic. So we have something called ICD-10, and those are codes to find diagnoses. And then procedures are, procedures, right? That can be a doctor's office code, or it can be just like your colonoscopy. Those have to match, and we call that code linkage. Okay. If those don't match appropriately, let's say that you go in and somebody goes in for a broken arm, and you code it, broken or fracture of the whatever arm bone it is, and then
the tibia or the fibula.
Right.
Thank you.
And then you match it as a diagnosis of the flu. Well, that's not going to work, so it's going to be denied. So it's kind of a detective game of finding why it was denied and why it wasn't. So that's auditing. So, and then I wasn't going to talk about HIT, but medical billing and coding feeds into our associate degree program, HIT. Which has a lot of CIS and coding, information technology classes in it, even like cybersecurity. Well, that medical billing and coding program leads directly into that. So about 30% of the courses are medical billing and coding courses, and then the rest are CIS courses, which are information technology courses.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And the college does have, talk about computers, too. The CIS program over at the college. They go
Computer information systems?
Yep. And they not only do that, but they do cybersecurity, how to design web pages, and then HIT, as she was talking about as well. So really, the college has quite a bit to offer out there in pretty much all industries. Right. If you want to break into the healthcare industry, though, or the medical industry, MEA, phlebotomy, and medical billing and coding, just great ways to do it, because you can get in there and you can get out and you can get hired. And I would imagine, Holly, that with the need in this community, these are jobs, if you enjoy it, you're pretty much set.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not going to graduate and be one of the college graduates who's saying, I can't find a job.
Oh no, you should definitely be able to find a job. And like I said, our employers out there are great. They invest in their people. So just like CIS, you can continue getting certifications, right? Because healthcare is always changing. Yeah. So an MA can continue doing certifications to keep relevant, to keep fresh, to keep their certifications up.
So what's it like, maybe if you could tell folks, so a student's path, let's say I do the phlebotomy, and then I think, oh, I love this. I'm out there working for a couple of years. Maybe I want to be a medical assistant. You come back, do those credits then transfer? They call them stackable. And for folks that don't understand what that means is if you take a class and you get a certification in that expertise, and you want to then advance, you can take those credits and then stack them into another degree. How does that work with medical assisting? If I want to be a nurse, do those classes then stack into the nursing program?
There are a few that will help you lead into nursing. However, the medical assisting A&P is a lower level A&P. It's an essentials A&P, but it will definitely give you the foundation and make your coursework a ton easier, and then it will not be as difficult.
Yeah.
But you will have that foundational knowledge of A&P and MedTerm. For phlebotomists going into medical assisting, you do have those 3 same prerequisites, and then we can give you some credit for prior learning.
Yeah.
But you'll still have some of the different courses that you'll still need to take. But yeah, it is an easier, smoother transition, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that credit for prior learning is really big too. So
yes.
if you've been in the industry for 10, 15 years and you've been a medical assistant and then you want to jump into nursing, the college will take a look at that, and you could get, they'll determine how many credits you can already knock out as you go in.
Absolutely. It's a great way to do it.
All right, let's take a short break. 80s it is.
Here we go.
Like everything but what? Heavy metal? Just trying to crawl under the camera there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not odd behavior. It's just helping you out.
That's on the camera for everybody that can't see right now. The fridge in the studio is on the other side of the camera.
Right.
So now anybody that walks into the studio has to crawl under the camera to get to the fridge.
Well, it's not actually a studio. It's the Speak Out Kitchen with no sink. All right? That's the nickname, for the official nickname that I gave it. So, all right, back with more in a moment. We have James Jarman, of course, the Director of College Communications, and Holly Berebitsky, who is the Program Director of Medical Assisting, Phlebotomy, and Medical Billing and Coding. And if that sounds like a lot of title, it is. All right, back with both of you have the long titles. Executive Director of College Communications. Takes up 66% of your card.
Well, yours is what you do producing, you do hosting,
That's it.
Oh, yeah, but underneath that, you need to get all those on your card.
I know. I need to consolidate them into one politically correct term. I don't know if that's going to work. Back with more in a moment. I'm Paul Lavoie. Speak Out will continue. We're having fun on a Friday. Stay with us. See, that's where you go. Now batting.
Charlie Blackman.
Center fielder Charlie Blackman. That's right. But you're not going to hear that tonight. You're going to hear center fielder Alec Thomas and the Arizona Diamondbacks, of course. Game 1 tonight on the sports station, 94.3, 100.5, and 980 AM here in Lake Havasu City. And the D-backs pregame is at 4:15. First pitch at 5:03 from, you used to call it the ballpark at Arlington, but it's Choctaw Field now, I believe is what it's called. So anyway, that's where the Texas Rangers play. And Game 1 is tonight from Arlington. Game 2 tomorrow from Arlington. Same time, 4:15 pregame. And then Game 3 Monday at Chase Field, and that's at 4:15 the pregame. So they're all the games all the way through Game 7, if they make it through next Saturday, I believe, are at 4:15. Very convenient for the fans.
Yeah.
Are you watching, or are you just sad because your Rockies didn't make it?
I'm a highlights. Basketball and baseball, I'm a highlights kind of watcher. Yeah, show me the highlights.
Not so much. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, nice thing is this year the Suns will be on antenna TV, too. Oh. They're on channel 3.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, I just ditched cable too, so I'm gonna have to go out and find a big antenna that's going to pull in the signals.
I got a couple for sale.
Are they rooftop type antennas?
Yes.
Is that what
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
depending on where you live. If you live in Bullhead,
yeah,
not difficult at all. You don't need like a giant tower to get that Mohave County television district.
Yeah,
it's great.
Nothing's coming in right now, so
right.
I've got to figure that out.
Well, we're two talkers, but I got to get this billboard done, so just bear with me for a second. Speak Out brought to you in part by Mohave Mortgage. Love those guys. Also, Bradley Chevrolet and Bradley Ford. GDK LLC, Springburg Wealth Management, by Patio Paradise, SunPower by Esme Electric, and, of course, samsguns.com. And don't forget, we stream live, and our show archives are at kntrtalk.com. And, you can get the archives all the way back. It's probably sitting at about 45 days right now. Oh. Need to kind of slice off that 30-day threshold and free up some room there on the webpage.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Goes back a ways, but anyway, you had a note for enrollment for spring and summer.
Oh yeah, it opened on Monday.
Does that include Holly's programs?
It does. It does, and they classes start I think on January 8th.
Yes.
I think right around there, yes. But now's the time to sign up before the classes fill up. So if you want to be a medical assistant, if you want to be a medical assistant or a phlebotomist or medical billing and coding, now's the time to head online to mohave.edu. If you click the Apply Now button, that'll take you right to the page where you'll want to fill out a contact information form, which is called the Welcome Future Bighorn form. Once you do that, then you can start working on your application, which really some basic information there. And as soon as you do that as well, one of the representatives from Student Services will reach out to you to help walk you through that process and also walk you through the financial aid process, because a lot of people in this county, if they just fill out that free application for federal student aid, that's called whatever, you'll always hear it called the FAFSA.
Right.
You fill that out, you're going to find out how much money you get to go to college. And in this county, there's a lot of people that will qualify to have some or all of their tuition covered. So we really encourage people to fill out that FAFSA, and one of the Student Services representatives, once you fill out that Welcome Future Bighorn form, they'll get in touch with you. They'll help walk you through the entire process, because we know it can be intimidating. You know, a lot of people that come to the college, I listened to one lady one time say, I walked into the building and saw the Student Services desk, but she felt intimidated. She didn't feel like she was a college student. She'd been told in her life that she wasn't college material. So she just walked straight through, and it took her twice to come back until she finally built up the courage to go up to the desk and say, hey, I'd like to apply. What do I need to do?
Your folks are really approachable, too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think that there's just a lot of people that, for whatever reason, in high school, if maybe they didn't get their diploma, right? Well, we have a GED program. You can start right there and then segue right in once you get your GED into a college class. But a lot of people just feel intimidated or feel they're not college material, and we try to encourage everybody. You're going to get accepted. We'll meet you at whatever level of education you have and help you from there. So if you flunked out of math and you don't know anything about algebra, we're going to meet you at addition, subtraction, and we're going to help work you up so that then you can pass a college algebra class and then move on.
Wow, there you go. No, that's what I like about MCC is that your frontline employees aren't the suits. Right. They're wearing the polo just like you are today.
Yeah, and they're there to help. And that's the great thing is that with a 2-year college that we have here in Mohave, we are you. We're your community. It's the community college. So those folks that are working at the college are your neighbors, your friends. They want to help you get your college degree, because one thing that all the research shows everywhere is that if you want to break that cycle of poverty, especially, higher education is the way to do it. And anymore, I think I just read some other stats the other week, and it was 80% of jobs in Arizona require some sort of education after high school. And so if you want to get a career that's a family-sustaining wages or salary, you're going to need some sort of education after high school. And we offer, that's why we're here. We can help. We're the open door. We'll let you walk in. We let you come in, see everything that's there. We help you decide your path. What do you like to do? What's your passion? Let's turn that passion into profits.
Speaking
we also work with the community partners. We also work with our community partners, and they're our employers, and they employ our students.
Yeah.
Another thing is Arizona at Work also helps as well. So I didn't know if you knew about Arizona at Work is a great way to get assistance with books or any of the other things that maybe financial aid doesn't cover.
Yeah, they help with a lot of the workforce programs, such as MEA, those classes that are going to get you right out into the workforce to help. If let's say you fill out a FAFSA, but you don't qualify to have everything covered, well, Arizona at Work they may have some loans. They may have some tuition grants or workforce grants that will help pay for your education.
Holly, let me get have you get your mic up just a little bit there.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Those students that have graduated or come out of your programs, do you rely on, once they're in the workplace, do they contact you, say, hey, I'm here now? If you have somebody that's looking, that's a shining star, do you have that situation?
So I've been here about a year. So I don't know a lot of our graduates, but we do track our students for accreditation purposes.
Okay.
We do track them so that we do ensure that they are getting placed. So absolutely.
I'm sure as the years go by, though, that situation is going to come up.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in contact with a lot of my graduates from previous institutions.
Very cool.
And that's one of the things, too. Maybe folks we can help shine a little light on that. Because there's a lot of people out there, especially when you're talking MEA, there's a lot of pop-up schools, right? They'll be out there, and really they'll take advantage of people. They want your money.
Oh, MEA, medical assisting.
Right, yeah.
Gotcha.
And so what you want to do is look for a place like Mohave Community College where it's accredited. So you want an accredited program because, just as she said, they have to report. They have to show that their program is helping students get into careers and get jobs, which is the whole point of this. And there's a lot of places, if they're not accredited, they're not doing that. They're really just looking for your money. So Mohave Community College is a safe place to come and get signed up, break into the medical industry, and since it's accredited, you're going to get the education that you need to be successful. And you mentioned, Holly, the partners. Can you run off the list of some of the industry partners that the college has for your program?
Absolutely. So for phlebotomy, we utilize KRMC, LabCorp, SonoraQuest, WarMC, Havasu.
Regional Medical.
HRMC.
Yes, HRMC. And then we also are working with the new hospital that just started in Bullhead as well.
Oh, right down there on 95. Yeah, there's a new one that came up. Yep.
Don't even know.
Yeah. And the medical industry is one of those industries that is growing, and I was just listening the other month to a radio show where they were interviewing Fortune 500 CEOs, and they had done a survey, and they said, what careers would you have kids who are in elementary school right now go into? And it was, what industries? And it was tech and medical. And it was because they said that's the future right there.
Oh, sure. And that aging population, too.
Mm-hmm.
You have job security, Holly.
Absolutely.
Us communications guys, I'm not so sure.
Don't go into marketing. Don't go into communication.
It's like if you're in a band, don't play drums, right? So what do? Right? First one in, last one out.
Yeah.
No one likes the sweaty guy.
You tell me don't. I'm doing it.
No one likes that sweaty guy anyway. All right. We're going to go out. I never knew who did this song, but it's Dead or Alive. I had no idea.
Oh, who is it?
It's...
band is Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
Oh, okay.
You spin me right round, you know this song, right?
Yeah, I do know this.
It's in an Adam Sandler movie, too.
I didn't know that was the band name, though. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's in Wedding Singer.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, back with more in a moment. We've got Holly Berebitsky and JJ, James Jarman from Mohave Community College. It'll take me another 5 minutes to segue to do the titles, right?
That's it.
We're going to come back. I'm not sure. I know we're going to talk about the chili cook-off.
Oh, yeah, that is coming up next weekend.
That's next weekend. Matt Ferris is going to be here for that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do the Mohave Minutes, too.
Oh, great.
Or is there another name for it now?
Not yet, but that will soon be rebranded with this podcast.
All right. See, I do pay attention, all right? Back with more in a moment. I'm Paul Lavoie. Stay with us on Speak Out. So a little trivia about the B-52s.
Yeah.
Cindy, the blonde, her brother was the original guitar player.
Oh.
And the drummer is now the current guitar player. Back in the day, the drummer was the tall guy who's on guitar now.
Yeah.
But Cindy's brother died, and so the drummer went and became the guitar player.
Oh,
so it's like, talk about talent.
Yeah.
I could never, not in a million years. I tried to play guitar as I didn't even get past the tuning stage. And I had the DVDs and all that. I was like, man, I can't do this. So apparently I'm supposed to be a drummer.
Yeah. Well,
and a lead singer.
Yeah, see, that's where you are. What was the band where the well-known rock band?
Genesis?
Was it Genesis?
Phil Collins?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Phil Collins? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, concerts in the park tonight, Swamp Donkey, 6 p.m. Blues, Cajun, classic rock, country, reggae, and swing, sponsored by the Elks Lodge. Again, that's 6 p.m. over at London Bridge Beach. At the stage at London Bridge Beach last week, Black Cat X, yours truly.
Yeah.
About 1,000 people out there. Good turn,
awesome.
Great turnout. It was very, very nice and a nice night, even though it was a warm setup, a very warm 104-degree day. So, all right, Speak Out brought to you in part by Arizona Financial Credit Union, also Mohave Community College. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah,
I just realized Mohave Community College.
Yeah.
MCC.
You got to support the the local newscasts here and getting all the word out to keep the community informed.
Well, we'll take quotes off of this show for sure. That's Radio Central News Network. One of the other hats you were talking about, right?
That's right.
Also, Doritos Place, providing Havasu with all-natural dog and cat food along with pet toys since 2006. And Salmon's Air Conditioning, serving the tri-state area for over 53 years. And tomorrow's the London Bridge Days Parade, of course. And London Bridge is 52 years old. So
MCC's 52 years old.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. We all started around all the great things.
You used the term trailer tech last month, so I can say that. I remember when.
I was quoting somebody as we were doing our rebranding survey. The feedback was, it used to be called trailer tech.
But it's come
I said, what?
It's kind of a pride moment, though, if you use that term.
Oh,
look at how far you've come.
Yeah, because they used to have just trailers, at a lot of the campuses.
So anyway, ask about Salmon's superior maintenance plan. Do you guys have a float tomorrow in the London Bridge Days Parade?
We have the students and staff will be out there. We have a lot of them will be out there along with the mascot. So they're looking forward to it every year.
Quick, who's the mascot, Holly?
Oh, crap.
It's Boomer.
It used to be Boomer.
Oh, it's not Boomer.
Yeah, Boomer retired. Went to the herd up at the Colorado City campus.
Buzz?
Blaze, yeah.
I was thinking Buzz, like Buzz Lightyear.
Blaze was itching to come in. As soon as he heard there was a soccer program, Blaze told his uncle, Boomer, time to get me in there.
I'll tell you what, I did that once. The mascot costume, the big fur coat.
Oh, the Boomer one, yeah.
It was during the Boombox Parade in December, and I came out of that thing. It was like I was in a hot box.
The new suit has a fan in it.
What?
Yeah, and ice packs.
Awesome.
So it's top of the line. Top of the line there.
All right, so we got to talk about the chili cook-off, but we're gonna sneak in the Mohave Minutes. So give me a quick lead.
So it's the newscast that we do for the board each month. So it talks about everything that's been happening at the college for the month prior. So this one covers September and part of October. Some of the highlights of the event, the events, the staff, the students, that sort of thing. So we can listen to it for a few minutes and then tell you where you can watch the rest of it.
First up, history is made with the groundbreaking for Northwestern Arizona's first on-campus student housing. Many community leaders, including the current and former mayors of Bullhead City, were there to celebrate this historic moment. The 60-plus bed housing complex will be completed next summer, ready for students attending fall semester 2024. And community leaders from throughout the MCC district are part of the College Campus Advisory Councils. They're meeting this month with college administrators to get an update on what's happening at MCC and, perhaps more importantly, provide valuable feedback from the communities. Congratulations to the students who completed the Emergency Medical Services Paramedic Program. The 5 graduates were celebrated at this pinning ceremony with family, friends, instructors, and representatives from the Lake Havasu City Fire Department. For more information on the EMS Paramedic Program, head online to mohave.edu. Then, in the middle of the homepage, click Health and Public Services. Then, click Emergency Medical Services. And speaking of EMS, the College Health and Public Services Division partnered with local agencies for Healthcare Simulation Week. We caught up with them for this emergency labor delivery training, utilizing one of the college computerized sim patients. MCC partnered with Kingman Regional Medical Center, Kingman Fire, Northern Arizona Fire, and Wallapai Mountain Fire for this training series. The Kingman campus Fall Semester Spirit Week was full of fun activities and a chance for students to check out all the clubs and services on campus. There were many events, including donuts with Dr. Klippenstein, a stitch and crochet night, movie night with Mascot Blaze at Brendan Theaters, and step aerobics with women's team soccer coach Cynthia Cervantes. 5th graders from Mohave Accelerated Learning Center recently toured the Bullhead City campus. This is part of a larger college pilot program to introduce the importance of college to elementary students. The students visited many of the programs to see the wide variety of options, and the visit included the library, which is open to everyone in the community.
You can check out items from here, so if you want to have your parents bring you here sometime, you can more than welcome to get a library card and check out items.
If you'd like more information about the 5th grade pilot project, send an email to mcc@mohave.edu. The Lake Havasu City campus held several events to help highlight Hispanic Heritage Month. It included traditional Mexican music performed by MCC student Pascual Santos. The campus also brought in bands and dancers to help share the culture. The Kingman Student Activities Council held a forum with Hispanic community members, including Havasu Campus Dean Dr. Maria Ione, to share their experiences on the path to career success.
Dr. Maria, friend of Speak Out for sure.
Yeah, we'll see if she can come in next month. She's the, for those that don't know, she's the Dean of Student and Community Engagement at the Havasu campus. So if you're in Havasu and you want to know what's going on at the college, you can always get a hold of her at the Dean's office. And that is Building 200, by the way, if you're in Havasu and you want to go to visit the campus. So talking also, we were the events we chatted about. We have a big event coming up. You saw the groundbreaking for the student housing, or you heard the groundbreaking, and when we get this podcast up online, you'll be able to see the video. But if you want to go there right now and watch the newscast, we put them on the website at mohave.edu. Scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the news and events section. It's also on the college YouTube channel, which if you're on YouTube, just search at Mohave CC, and you can see all the newscasts. We have a playlist there with all the archived newscasts as well. But as far as events, because one of the reasons I wanted to bring that up was the groundbreaking for the student housing.
Yeah,
was what motivated a lot of that was the athletics, which the community wanted athletics at the college.
You're like the king of Segway today. You know that?
Try to figure out a way to
smoothly get it in there.
Yeah. And then student housing, a groundbreaking at the Bullhead campus. The community wanted soccer. They met with the college president. They said, we're going to support this. We're going to be behind it. So the college launched into that, and student housing is part of the project. The housing is not just for athletes, though. It's for all students as well, 60-plus beds in there. So they're going to have that application process coming up, but that housing going to be ready by next fall. But one of the things I wanted to mention was the way the community is supporting the athletic program is through the boosters. Right. A lot of big movers, shakers, and newsmakers created a booster club, and one of them is here in Havasu, Tina Stocking. And those of you who know, she is connected, one of the founders, I guess her and her husband started Mud Shark Brewery. Well, she has the Chili Fest coming up, and if you go to mccbighornchili.com, you will see it. You'll be able to get tickets. I think it's actually not big. What is it on the ticket there? Is MCC Bighorn?
MCC Bighorn Chili Cook-Off.
Yes. Bighorn Chili Cook-Off.com.
That's at Havasu Marina.
Yep.
Havasu Riviera Marina.
Coming up next Saturday.
There's a big difference there.
Yeah.
Havasu Riviera Marina.
Yep. And so if you go to MCCBighornChiliCook-Off.com, you can read more about it, buy your tickets there, and it's going to be next Saturday. It's a sanctioned event, so people whoever wins this event is qualified to go on to regional or nationals. So it's really a big deal. This is they call it a sanctioned chili cook-off event. So they've got, I think, almost 24 chefs ready to go that have signed up. Get down there, and it's going to be a great time, and you're going to support college athletics. So,
yeah, that's a big deal. We even carry a show on Saturdays called Barbecue Radio Network.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah. It's really big now. Okay, real quick, about 2 minutes. Bighorn Trek.
Yep.
You got
Bighorn
that coming
Trek.
up in Kingman.
That's coming up next week, November 2nd. If you go to bighorntrek.com, there's information on there. You may also see some ads out on social media as well. Really, what these are events that each campus does once a year, and it invites the community into the campus. All the programs are set up out there. If you want to meet Holly and her team, she'll be there. She can talk to you person to person about the programs, about phlebotomy, medical assisting, billing and coding, and you can get right there and get signed up for classes. You can fill out the application. You can meet with advisors. Really, it's how everything that the college does is going to be on full display. And there's going to be a car show, and there's going to be Arizona at Work there with a job fair. Right. So if you're looking for a job, you're going to have a lot of employers in the region who are looking to hire. They're going to be at that event. It's on the Kingman campus, 1971 Jaggerson Avenue, just north of the city limits of Kingman.
Right. I'm smiling because I asked Holly in the break when we were in the Mohave in the minutes, who do they practice? I want to use this like a disclosure, full disclosure for anyone who wants to be a phlebotomy student. Who do they practice on?
On each other.
On each other?
They'll learn how to fake arm it first,
yeah?
But then they practice on each other. There's nothing like the feel of real skin.
Right.
A simulation arm is great to practice your steps on, but actual skin and veins are the best way to learn.
Wow.
And you want your phlebotomist to know how to stick on people before they get out there and practice in their externship.
Right. Plus, there's that one where you collect many vials at one time, right?
Absolutely.
So you're going to lose a little blood being a phlebotomy student, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
But you build it right back.
Absolutely. It's not that much.
And they do it. I think they practice on each other. They'll get drawn on each other a maximum of twice in that particular session, and they meet twice a week. Mm-hmm. So
oh boy, not something you do online, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those hands-on courses for sure.
Yes, it is. It is a fantastic course.
Great pun, by the way. That was a good pun. Nicely done. That's
Sometimes
why
I say them and I don't even know it.
That's why you do all the writing there, right?
It just comes.
See, I think job security wise we're safe, but yeah. You probably don't want to go into marketing.
There's so many people out there trying to get in. Yeah.
Especially some of the properties that are known in this area. You end up working weekends and holidays and special events, and
And you have to really look for those careers that they're in need.
Right.
They need people.
Right.
That's where you're going to be safe. The people where you have 1,000 applications going in for one job, which is TV, radio, marketing. That's usually what happens.
Yeah, more than that.
It's much more difficult to find a job. Right. In some of those fields where there's just not the demand for it.
Right. All right, that's it, guys.
That's
Wasn't
it.
that easy, Holly?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
What about hour 2?
You know radio's easy anyway, right?
Sure.
All right, back with more in a moment. I'll have a final shot. Again, Holly Berebitsky and James Jarman from Mohave Community College. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. All right, back with more in a moment. Stay with us. So for Monday's show, I put in a special request to Jerry Bracamani at the city, and we got two very special guests. Assistant to the city manager, Anthony Kozlowski, and the city's transit coordinator, of course, that's Patrick Cypress, will be on the show on Monday. And then I'm working on a really good Halloween show, so stay tuned for that. Everybody have a safe weekend. Enjoy the London Bridge Days Parade. We'll see you on Monday on Speak Out.
This is KNTR Talk KJJJ HD2 Laughlin. Heard on 106.7 FM, 106.5, and 106.3. The voice of the free. Voice of the free. Voice of the free. Voice of the free.